Hello everyone and welcome to this channel. In this video I'll show you on how to deal with variables in a window platform using a PowerShell, which means a variable that we're going to deal during a session, during a script, or during a terminal session, or also environment variables that's gonna remain even after the terminal session is closed. So what we're going to do is we're going to show on how to set a variable, environment variable, and also on how to remove those variable, both local or session-based variables and environment based variables. We're going to see them in practical. So to start with, I have my Azure portal open. I have the terminal session open there, and then that's where we're gonna do that's where we're gonna do the demo. As you can see here, I have my terminal, PowerShell terminal open, and I can write my commands. So as we know, variables are representatives of a value that we're gonna use them later, that we can repeat them, right? Once we set them in a variable, we can keep using them or calling to produce those values using the variables. So I'm gonna talk about the session based variables, which is a variable that it's gonna remain in the lifespan of the session. Okay, so how do you create a variable? To create a variable in a PowerShell is I'm gonna say, let's say I have a variable called first name. Okay, so to set that variable first name, I'm going to say I have to start with the $sign first name. I can say this is whatever you want. Okay, it's a variable that you want to use to represent your values, and then set equal to, you can say space equal to space, and then the value that will be represented by this variable. Okay, first name is now, for example, David. Okay, so if I say this, if I want to set this value into this variable, I have to say enter. I use this $sign, the variable that I want to use, and then space equals to a space the value that I want it to be represented by this variable. It could be string, it could be even boolean, it could be also integer, like a number. So if it is a string, it has to be under the double quote. So like I mentioned, in this session, if I try to use the first name variable anywhere, it will produce me David. Let's say right host, for example, right host, which means I'm trying to reproduce or echo it. So if I say this, it's the first name, it will produce what the value that is representing. Okay, so what it means is the variable is set. It will live as long as the session is live. There will be a time that, hey, I don't want to use it anymore, or I don't want the variable to represent this value. How do you do that? You can reset it to different value. If you think, okay, I'm going to use the variable but a different value, then you can still use it, like Chris, right? If I say this, now the variable is representing not David, but it's going to be Chris. But again, if I don't want there are times that also I don't want to use the variable first name to remain, to leave. I want it to remove it as a variable even. That is where we're gonna talk. So this variable, if I want to unset or if I want to remove this this variable first name from my session, what I'm going to do is clear variable. Okay, how do I say name? Okay, this first name. If I so here, this variable in my sessions, let's say if you are using it in a function, for example, it might be, you might want to do the scopes. But if it is going to be in this level where we're using in the command level, I don't have to say anything. I can just say here enter. Now the variable is cleared. If I try to call this first name, it shouldn't come. I should say nothing. Okay, this first name variable is now null or nothing. Okay, so if you don't want it to be represented, to represent anything, you can do this. So the other way of clearing the variable, or clearing making sure the variable doesn't represent anything, is, like I said, one is, we already said, it's clear, but also we can use the other way, which is to define it or assign a value that is nothing, which means null. Okay, so I can say first name equals to null. If I do this, this won't produce anything. Now it won't reproduce anything, as it's pretty much the same as if I said what? As if I said the clear variable hyphen name and this variable name. If I also do this way, for the variable equals to the $sign null, it's also clear the variable. I hope this is clear in terms of the session-based variable. So the second set of variable is the environment variable. Environment variable is a variable that stays system-wide, that is set in the system-wide, not in the session-wide, which means if a terminal is closed, the variable will still remain. In that case, we call it environment variable. To set an environment variable, normally what we do is using the GUI. We just go to the control panel and get into the environment variables GUI and set our environment variables, either user base or machine base. But if you want to do through automation way or through a terminal or a script, by running a script, that is where we are more interested in. So to set an environment variable, we have to know the right command. Okay, so for example, my let's say what the environment variable so far we have. Okay, so let me extend. Okay, let's see. Let's say Java home, or let's do this there env colon. Okay, if we look here, I think toward the end of my page you can see. Okay, I don't know if you're able to see. Yeah, there you go. So as you can see here, you can see my Java home is set into this value. But if I say that I want to set it into different value, I have to change, it means I'm setting environment variables with different value. It could be let me do, by the way, just create a new environment variable. So for existing environment variable, to access it, I can say also to the exact variable, so that I'll show you later. This is what I would do to access the environment, to check the environment variable. Okay, so let me create an just dummy environment variable. Okay, let's say I'll create an environment variable called Maven Home. Okay, so to create the environment variable, like I said, this is going to be the command that I'm going to show you. To do that, it's going to be $, the env, and then the variable that I want to create. Okay, Maven Home. So it's equals to what I can say. It's going to be something like user, yeah, and lib Maven. Okay, this is what I would say is my I'm just assuming will be my environment variable. So in this case, this is I'm assigning it. It's going to be in the system. If I try to get it, to check if it's set or not in the environment base, I can do this. So I can see it now. It is set. If I want to remove, or before I remove it, let's also play with what the existing one, which is the Java Home. It's existing in the system. Okay, so what do? I can update it. Let me update the environment variable to a different value. Okay, let's say I'm gonna say this. So Java Home environment variable is 16 now, no more 17. So if I do this Java Home ask, I'll see this guy. Even if I do the env, I can see still. By the way, my Maven is here, and also let's do big here. Where is my Java? Do I see Java here? Yeah, here you go. My Java is changed into 16. So using a terminal, I'm able to add, modify environment variable using that specific terminal or command or form. This is, like I said, the $env colon any variable that you want to, and then the value you want to assign it to. So let's better to bring it back. Okay, that's it. So I can go back and try to see what Java Home is. Now it's back to the right value. So the next is, how do we remove environment variable? Actually, we already saw update because I updated the Java. Now I can, how do I remove it? Like we saw Maven was assigned, the dummy one. Maven is created. Maven variable is created and assigned to this value. And now I want to remove it. How do we remove it? To remove that is easy as well. That's the command, remove item. It's pretty much as if deleting a file or folders, but this one is now environment variable. Because of that, so I have to say environment variable, and then Maven Home. That's it. So what I'm saying is remove this environment variable. That's it. Okay, if I do this, because it doesn't exist, what does that mean? So that tells me because it's whom. Okay, I'm sorry. So I was wrong about the variable. So it's right that it complained. Hopefully this time it works. Exactly, it worked because it exists. So, and then able to remove it. So to make sure that the environment variable is updated and no more exists, or how do I see? I ask, check it out. So environment variable Maven does not exist anymore because I removed it. That's awesome, really awesome. To wrap up and summarize what we did, we talked about dealing with environment with variables, on how to set and remove variables, both terminal session base and environment base. To create a variable in a session base, what we did was to create that $sign in the variable. If we want to remove that, we had to assign it to null, which is environment. The variable $sign. We have to do two ways to clear and unset it, which is to set it to a null, or we had to clear variable with that variable name. The same thing here in the environment variable. What we did is to create an environment variable, we just do $env colon whatever variable we want to create, and whatever value we want to assign it to, and to clear, to remove or change. The change is pretty much like creating new one, which is with a different value. But to remove was, we just did remove item and the env colon the variable name, and that's it. I hope this was informative and helpful to you. If you have any comments or questions, please leave me in the comment section. If you find this information helpful, consider sharing it with your friends and families. And for more videos, do not forget to subscribe. For now, bye-bye.